Hey there, gorgeous. My name is Melissa, and I am also known as the Taropist, and I am going to be your tarot card reader. Guys, we are going to do a full-sized love reading for the collective today. So this can resonate for any placement of any sign at any time. It can be anywhere from single to married and anywhere in between, just whomever you have on that gorgeous mind of yours. I am going to go into a little bit of an introduction about the structure of the reading, my channel and myself and my personal readings. If you've already heard this all before or you're just uninterested in all of that information, then I will leave a timestamp in the pinned comment below. You can click on the little blue number and it will bring you right into the beginning of the love reading. So again, guys, those of you who are going to stick around, again, I am the Taropist, and anything that you would ever need to know about my channel or myself, you can find in the description box below, the channel description or my community tab. You can certainly always check out my website, which is www.thetaropist.com. I am currently closed for Zoom and FaceTime readings. However, I am still available for pre-recorded and email readings, and all of the information that you need about those are listed in the description box below. If you have any more questions about those readings, you can certainly always email me, and the email address is also listed there. Guys, the personal readings are going to be the most powerful way or the guaranteed way for me to pick up on your personal energy and situation. If you are unable to if you are unable to or uninterested in a personal reading, but you would like me to be able to pick up on your personal situation and energy in my collective readings more powerfully, then do make sure that you are engaging with the channel in some way. This helps me to be able to pick up on that energy of yours more thoroughly. Again, because I am reading for a collective audience, it's just easier for me to pick up on the more prominent energies in my vicinity. And again, engaging is a really powerful way for you to transfer that energy here onto the readings or onto the channel and into the readings. Some easy ways that you can engage are by liking or commenting on any of the videos or the community tab posts. You can certainly always share any of my content, and my personal favorite, and I think the most powerful way for me to pick up on your personal energy in my collective readings is by you clicking the subscribe button below. If you are going to subscribe to the channel and you'd like to be notified when I do upload, or go live in the future, then make sure you have your notifications set to all. We're going to get rocking here and starting out with these dream guidance love messages. The structure of the reading, by the way, is the first column is going to be your energy, second column, your person's energy, third column, potential outcome. Because I am just picking up on energy, you can always reverse the roles of you and the person you have on your mind if it feels like your energy is more fitting to the second column and there's the first. And then the potential outcome is always potential. Again, because I am just picking up on energy, any actions that you would ever take in your physical reality are ultimately going to shape your physical reality. So just because the energy is available to you does not mean that it is guaranteed. You will need to take any proper or necessary actions in the third dimension in the physical world in order to bring any of these situations in. We have, I will wait patiently for you to open up. I don't know why I was just going to stop reading that mid sentence. I will wait patiently for you to open up. I do not want you to see my vulnerability. Okay, so I feel like that's two different energies. So somebody's saying, I don't want you to see my vulnerabilities. And the other person is saying, that's okay. I'll wait patiently for you to open up. And I do regret hurting you. And then on the bottom, it says, I suppress my feelings and emotions. It does feel like, the typical having a hard time being vulnerable here, communicating clearly. And then I do have the Page of Cups on the bottom of that deck. We're not going to take that, but it's saying that there's a need for vulnerability here. And by the way, I feel like once whoever is having a hard time being vulnerable opens up, it's like they're going to be more open to you, or vice versa. It could be you opening to them than they've ever been to anybody in their life before or for a long time. Because a lot of times when we are vulnerable with the wrong people and they take advantage of our kindness or our sensitivities or our vulnerabilities, then we kind of block or put these walls up, which by the way can be healthy, or boundaries certainly are. We got the Page of Pentacles in your energy. We got the Knight of Wands in their energy and the Sun card and the potential outcome. I took them in the order that they came out, and that's just how I'm going to do it. And then Nine of Cups and the overarching energy, all beautiful energies. The Page of Pentacles talks about, all the pages represent a messenger or can represent some type of communication. And because it is a pentacle, this talks about like a third dimensional type of communication. So we're not just communicating in the 5D where we're thinking of one another. This is about real, tangible communication. And so that's you. And then we do have the Knight of Wands in their energy, which is a card of passion, excitement, and action. And it does represent the sign of Sagittarius. And then in the outcome, more passion, more excitement, and happiness. The Sun card does represent the sign of Leo and does talk about a very successful outcome here. That is going to lead to the happiest time in our life. With the Nine of Cups in the overarching energy, again, it just talks about wish fulfillment or kind of like total emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. Um, mm, the King of Cups now in your energy, it's like I can't stop choking on my own spit, you guys. I don't know what's going on with this throat chakra of mine, but this is talking about that you're vulnerable or tangible communication, your ability to communicate with somebody thoroughly in the third dimension or in a physical way is going to ultimately lead to the love of your life or a life that you love. Here with the King of Cups, the King of Cups is about emotional intelligence, and it's about not running every time we feel triggered, whether that be in a negative way or, like I said, it's like when you feel these emotions for somebody that you've never felt before, a lot of our first responses, I want to say first responders, you could be a first responder. A lot of our first responses are to run from this energy or this situation, again, because of something in our past that let us know that our vulnerability, and which, again, somebody who you truly triggers like true emotion in you, does leave you feeling very vulnerable. So when your vulnerabilities are triggered, it causes you to run for the hills. But this is saying that you're coming into a place in your life or that where that no longer happens. Okay. Just because you're afraid of it doesn't mean it's terrifying. Okay. It can be terrifying still, by the way. I realize now that this little Christmas setup here is not meant for my love readings, but let's move you back a little bit, bud. And so you have the Page of Pentacles, the King of Cups, again, about emotional intelligence. This is, again, just because things get heavy doesn't mean that we're going to act irrationally. We're going to stay kind of grounded and stable in our own truth and authenticity, and we're not going to run from a situation that makes us feel vulnerable. However, you do also have the Two of Swords here, which talks about, I want to say, an unwillingness to move forward in a situation that you're afraid can destroy you. So I feel like it's saying you're gaining emotional intelligence here and getting ready to communicate with somebody who terrifies you is the energy that's coming through. The Eight of Wands, again, another indicator that this communication and being clear with somebody is actually going to lead you to all of the outcomes you dreamed of. Okay. A life that you truly love. Now, let's just say that for some people, this reading, you're not going to end up with this person. But your communication with this person and being very vulnerable and very raw about your feelings and not allowing, by the way, just because you have these feelings, not allowing somebody to mistreat you is all how we gain this emotional intelligence or this ability to be unpenetrable is the energy that I'm getting here. And the Eight of Wands does represent a very quick moving energy. And it's kind of like, I want to say your communication in this matter is going to move things along very quickly, even though I think there's been some like I don't know if stagnation is the right word, but I think things have felt like they're not moving anywhere. Again, it's just saying if you stop letting the fears, by the way, it's not saying you need to stop being afraid, because you have had people prove in your past when you are vulnerable and you give them your kind of softest and sweetest spot of you, they've taken advantage of that. And there are people who will, by the way, and I'll get to the, the outcome makes me think that this person isn't like that. Although the Knight of Wands could indicate somebody who is kind of a player energy. So doesn't always mean that, but we're going to see what we clarify that with. So we're going to see what more we have here. Or I want to say you even are afraid that this person is a player because of their, what's this right word? I keep saying karmic, but that's not the right word. Charm. I feel like they're very charming, very charismatic is actually the word that kept trying to come through there. So very charming, very charismatic, and you're afraid that that isn't exclusive to you. Well, by the way, I don't think it is. I think they are just a very charming and charismatic person, and I think it does attract a lot of attention. But I want you to know that this person is very deeply connected to their emotions as well. So I was trying to clarify, are they a player? And then I get the Moon card, which represents the sign of Cancer, but actually this card represents Neptune. I'm not going to get into all of that. So it also represents the sign of Pisces. But the moon itself is the ruler of the sign of Cancer. And what this talks about, it really is connected to all water signs because the moon itself is connected to water and our emotions. So I want to say that this person feels a strong emotional connection to you. And while they might be a charismatic person and get a lot of attention, the only attention they're looking for is yours. Um, Four of Cups, again, I feel like because of the lack of communication in the third dimension, they've even found it hard to enjoy anything. And the Ten of Swords, let's get some more on the outcome here, because the Ten of Swords is a card of like a painful ending. They might have been going through a painful ending and feeling like it could just represent what I was talking about with you, is that your fear of vulnerability because of the way that people have taken advantage of those vulnerabilities in the past. This has us all on edge at this time, when it's like learning how to discern who you can actually be vulnerable with and who you do need to protect yourself from. Boundaries will clear this up for you. Having good boundaries, good, healthy boundaries, will only scare away people who wanted to take advantage of you not having any. Okay. Page of Pentacles again. And it's like I'm watching, the communication, or this offer of communication in the third dimension, leading to all of the happiness that you could ever imagine. Something very stable here. I got the Queen of Pentacles now as well. And the Five of Cups. Why the Five of Cups at the end here? The Ace of Cups is on the bottom of that deck. And let's talk about how we could, when I tell you at the beginning of the reading that the potential outcome is only potential, because if we don't take inspired action or initiative or necessary actions in the third dimension to bring something like this into reality, then ultimately we will end up regretting that situation or regretting our choices. It's like rejection is better than regret, is what I'm getting at this Five of Cups in the very last card here. It's like, if you guys are unable to work through your fears, again, not saying that you need to stop being afraid of being taken advantage of, because if you have a big heart, which it looks like you do, and it looks like they do, then oftentimes our kindness has been taken for weakness. And of course, our willingness to be kind to even unkind people has been taken advantage of in the past. So they're wanting you to remember that just because this person is charismatic, they've never actually given you anything that would make you feel like they would ever take advantage of you, but it's triggering situations in your past, maybe where you were dealing with some player energy, and their charm. And so it's almost like when you meet somebody who's charming, you're afraid that that means that they're unintegral, or they're ingenuine. I don't know what the right word there is. But this person feels very genuine with the Moon card here. And I want to say that again, their charisma, and I want to say they keep things very surface level with most people, is kind of scaring you at this time. I don't necessarily think that they've kept you on a surface level, although they might be afraid because of the painful endings they've just recently encountered, to be vulnerable with you as well. What I'm going to say here is, because I feel like your energy is a little more stable and grounded, there is a need to be able to communicate with this person with no expectations of the outcome of this communication. So you're communicating with somebody because you know that the truth, how you feel, is worth communicating and expressing. And the only way to release the feelings that you're feeling is by communicating clearly. Again, either this will get you into a situation with the person that you're meant to be with, or it will scare away anybody who is not meant for you. And either way, you're going to be able to move forward in the situation. Now, it does talk about this ability, or this possibility, for things to be very happy and successful in the outcome here, but that if you're not able to communicate clearly and vulnerably with this person, or vice versa, then ultimately it will lead to I'm getting like a life full of regret, feeling like you missed the one that you cared about, or the one that got away, is kind of the energy that it's bringing. So again, while I think sometimes not giving all of you to everybody is a very beneficial way to navigate this lifetime, when there are so many people out here willing to take advantage of people's kindness, there is a strong need, when somebody stirs something up inside of you that is unlike anything you've ever felt before, to acknowledge that you are, in fact, smart enough and emotionally intelligent enough to know the difference between somebody who stirs up some real emotions inside of you, or you have a real connection with, and those that have tried to take advantage of your kindness in the past. I hope this makes sense for you, because I do feel like there's like this very delicate balance going on. Ultimately, it looks like it will be very successful and lead to a life that feels like you're finally home, like a homecoming is the ending here. But again, if we're unable to honor ourselves and our truest, deepest feelings, by running from something that feels so right instead of communicating clearly, despite the fact that it makes us terrified, then we'll end up regretting the decisions that we made. So the rejection, if you do get rejected by this person, is going to feel much better than if you just then regret for not ever trying or something like that. I hope that makes sense for you. Got a little lost at the end there. Sagittarius, Cancer, Pisces, Leo are all here. Any earth sign, earth signs are also very strong. So whatever this is, anything that you feel in your core, I don't care if it's a passion of yours, a dream of yours, you want to be a singer, whatever it is, and it feels like home to you, it's worth exploring, regardless of the outcome of the situation. The truth of the matter is, if we don't give it to ourselves to communicate clearly about the things or go for the things that mean the most to us, then we are abandoning the truest part of ourselves. Okay. And so then we end up living a life of regret instead of again, when we can learn how to face rejection and even receive rejection and continue on, it's much better than thinking what if that's all I'm getting on this five of cups here. What if I would have gone for this situation? What if I would have communicated my feelings clearly? What if I fell and they caught me instead of instead of running? Okay, something like that. I hope that makes sense for you. I am going to leave the reading there. If you've made it this far, go ahead and hit that like button, and I will see you in the next reading. My word. I love you. Bye.